Hey gang, Prepper will here again. Uh, please understand my last video, but please understand this. I do not put up with threats to myself or to anybody I care about. Okay? I've received a lot of death threats lately. And I have no idea why, but I tell you this right now. I look after my family. I look after those I care about. And that is all I need to do. It is all I feel I need to do. So when I get a little upset or a little passionate or a little bit too over the top, please understand that it's my family and my community that I care about. Anybody else? They can take this and sprinkle a little bit of salt on it and go and have a nice day. Sure, I get a little bit passionate about stuff, but you know what? I get passionate about stuff because I care. Always have, always will. I've served this country. I've served both countries. I've served this whole bloody continent in ways that I can't even describe. And I hope that you can understand, or at least try to understand, why I care so much. And that's because this country, North America, Canada, US, maybe just a little teensy bit of Mexico, but not really. Biden needs to close the borders. Trump had the right idea, but Sparkle Socks here in Ottawa, I'm sorry, but he's fucked. He is truly fucked. This is the second time we've had a Trudeau as a prime minister in Canada, and both times Canada got screwed. So please understand that none of that has anything to do with it. Please understand that I care about the people of North America. I care about Canadians. I care about the United States. My wife is American. Okay? My wife is American. I'm Canadian. Please understand that I have passions on both sides of this border. And those passions extend to my families in Canada and the US. And my families being my communities that I talk to, that I pass knowledge on to, that I share information with in this new world that we're in with the internet. That means all of you folks that I see on Pinball's community, because I truly love that community. I loved a couple others, but now I can't interact with them. And you know what? That's all fine and dandy. I don't care. I really don't. Because if I can't communicate with my friends and my family, that hurts me inside. But what really hurts me is all of this BS that's going on in this world, and I'm not able to protect anybody unless they're very close to me. And that is a hard fact that I'm having to come to grips with. I've always been and always will be a warrior. Always. And the people that I have come to know and the people that I have come to talk to and associate with in these internet communities, especially Pinball's community, because it's such a wonderful place for sharing knowledge. If I can't protect you, I have a hard time dealing with it. But I get through that. The thing that I can't get through is when I get threats on my life through emails and through my channel that are like literal death threats. When I came home from Afghanistan, I had a number on my head. I can't remember what the word is in Afghani, but I had holy crap. Well, it's like, you've got, back in the old days, you had the posters like wanted, dead or alive. Well, I had one of those on me after I came back from Afghanistan. I had one of those on me when I came back from Iraq. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do about it? It's a piece of paper, and I know I'm doing the right thing, but I can't remember the name for it, but I think the last figure that they had on me from Iraq was 75,000 whatever, 75,000 US. And when I left Iraq and went to Afghanistan, the last poster I saw in Afghanistan was like over 200 grand for whichever Afghani caught me. So I don't know. I don't deal with death threats. I finish death threats. Just saying. So now you have a little bit more insight into why I am so passionate about all of this stuff. Because I don't care. I would rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. And for those of you out there that think you can come and get me and collect on something, well, you bring it on. I don't care. You bring it on, because I guarantee you, you're not going to win. You are not going to win. That's why I have so much security around me. Man, this is a hard video to make. Oh, God. I'm sorry, folks, but this stuff has to be said, and this stuff has to be out in the open, because if it isn't, then I am not reliable. And because I know I am reliable, I have to share this. So, no matter who you are, no matter what you do, as long as you are in a community that I expressly count as important, and you've already heard those ones before that I just mentioned, please consider yourselves important, because this world is going to, this world's going to hell. And please, please understand that I don't mean that in a literal way. I mean it in a different way. But also, please don't trust your government. They are not going to be there for you. They are not going to help you. They are there to screw you. Okay? What the hell was that? Oh, man. Boy, oh boy. I know I got passionate in my last video, but I got threatened. And I was sick and tired of being threatened. And if these little punks decide that they're going to try and do something, they had better think again, because the only one going down is them, not me. I can guarantee you that. I don't care what the laws are when it comes to having to deal with that kind of shit, but I will guarantee you this. Anybody comes at me, they have two choices. And I talked about that in my last video. But they have two choices. So they can pick them. They can pick them. It's not up to me, it's up to them. I had 4 punks try and penetrate my perimeter today. All 4 of them had to change their shorts because they had no idea what they were getting into. And I ended up with their jammer, their internet jammer, or their security cam jammer, or whatever the hell it was. Well, that's already gone to the police, as well as the guy that decided he was going to come back and ask for the jammer back, who was one of the punks that decided they were going to try and infiltrate. I'm sorry, but I have friends on the police. I have friends in the police department. I have friends in the fire department. I have friends all over this neighborhood. And they know the kind of crap that goes on in this area. So they have to figure out why this kind of stuff's going on around here. There's a drug house down there. There's a drug house up there. And both of them have burned down recently. So where the druggies going to go? They're going to find another place. They're not finding it here, because I'll guarantee you one thing. Nothing is going on anywhere near this place, because I will make sure it doesn't happen. And I think that's why all of these punks keep coming around trying to infiltrate or figure out how they can get in. And I've talked to the cops about this. I've talked to the local Leos, and they all figure the same thing. But when I go south, I have a person that's here 24/7 that knows each and every one of my security setups intimately. And I trust them explicitly. So I don't get why these young punks keep trying to probe and try and figure out if they can get in here. Because every single time they get repelled. And I don't know why they keep trying, because they're not going to get here. This is my home. This is my refuge. And this is the place where I explicitly protect everything and anything that I've ever done. but this is not the only place. I have provisions here and here, and I also have 4 other places in this area, in this entire area of 50 square miles, that I have provisions. I didn't keep everything in one specific spot. I moved it around. I check each and every spot weekly to make sure that everything is good. I test all of my canned goods. I test all of my pressure canned goods to make sure that they are safe. I rotate each and every one of them monthly. And as I rotate them, I exchange them and make sure that everything is good. This is something that a prepper needs to do. If you're going to be a prepper, you have to be able to protect yourself. You have to be able to protect your supplies, and you have to make sure that your supplies are viable. You don't want to kill yourself by eating something that's done. You seriously don't. I had 6 cans of oh my God, sauerkraut that I had canned. Well, I had canned about 42 cans or 42 jars of sauerkraut. 6 went bad. The worst 2 had mold in them. I didn't hear the lids pop, but a friend of mine had brought over some jam that she had canned. And I'm sitting here right where I am now, and my room is over there, my pantry's over there. Pardon me. Please forgive me. And I hear this ting. I'm going like, what the hell was that? So I go in there and I start pressing lids, right? Because once you pressure can something, you take the rings off. Because if that lid pops, you know something's not good. So I suggest each and every one of you preppers that pressure can, check your lids every week. Don't put stuff on top of the stuff that you've canned. That is not a good idea. Trust me on that. Alaska Prepper, he taught me that one. But I heard this ting, and I went in there, and this jam that my friend had brought over that she had pressure canned or water bath canned or whatever it was, the lid let go. And I hear this ting, and I'm looking inside this jar, and it's only a pint jar, but I look inside and there's already mold that has been growing in there for like weeks. I popped the lid off it and I'm going like, this is nasty, right? This nasty. I mean, the smell, everything else. I pushed the lid back down, I put the ring back on it, and I was going to show her, but it didn't make much sense to show her because she already knew. So I just dumped everything out. Ugh, that was a nasty thing. But I dumped everything out. I washed and pressure cleaned the jar and the ring. I threw the lid away because that was, you can only use a ring, or you can only use the little sealing lid once, right? I give everything back to her when she came over, and she dropped off a couple of things, and I said, so this is what happened. And she said, oh, you got a bad one. And I said, yeah, so how many other bad ones did you make in that batch? And she said, I got 6 back. This is the 7th one. So I said, that whole batch was bad. And she said, yeah. And I understand that because I've done that, but I've had it happen here, and it's stuff that I've canned. and I haven't given it out to somebody to try. Unfortunately, sorry Pinball, but 3 of those were your Bohemian sauerkrauts, and I did not can them right. That wasn't your fault. I didn't do the right procedure. So that's on me, not you. But I still have 17 more that are awesome, and they taste wonderful when I open them up because they are so yummy. Just saying, when you're pressure canning or when you're canning anything, you have to make sure that you do it right. I was kind of new to that kind of thing, so I screwed up. It was my fault because I canned it. I pressure canned it. I did what I thought I needed to do, and 6 failed. I still have 17. So, well, 16 now. And they are delicious. But go in and check your lids every week or every month. I would suggest every 2 weeks you go in and you start doing your finger test on your lids to make sure that they're not pipping and popping, because that will give you an idea of especially if you're pressure canning, if you're doing it right or if you're doing it wrong. All right? So keep an eye on your preps. Keep an eye on your preps and keep going. By next weekend, and today is the 28th, so by the 4th, I should have, hopefully, I should have 3,000 jars of pressure canned meals and ingredients. Hopefully, or very, very close to it. That's my goal, is 3,000. If I get there, then my next goal is 4,000. You know, you got to do what you got to do, but you have to rotate your stock. You have to rotate your preps and use your preps. You can't just prep it and then stick it in a corner and then not use it. Okay? If you do that, then that's a fool's errand. That's a folly that you do not need to do, because the reason for pressure canning, the reason for prepping food and canning is to use that food to sustain you. And as you get more coming in, you do the same thing, and then you add that to the back of the rotational stock. But you also have to check your preps. That is one of the most important things that you could ever do, because nobody wants to die of botulism. Nobody wants to die of any kind of disease that comes from canned food that's gone bad, that you don't know has gone bad, especially when SHTF happens. Okay? I care about each and every one of you out there. And I worry about each and every one of you out there. I will be heading south in about a month. I should be south before Thanksgiving. I hope. I hope and pray, because I don't know what the hell they're going to do at the border. I don't know what all this other crap that's going on, what's going to happen. But all of this stuff is important. The most important thing, though, folks, is that you look after yourselves, you prep, and you make sure that all of your preps are working. Don't just buy something and stick it in the closet and hope that it's going to work. Oh, hang on. Be right back. That is not a good thing, because if that's what you're doing, then you are, again, in a fool's errand. Make sure you know how your stuff works. Make sure you know how your stuff works. Make sure you know what to do with your stuff when you have to use it. Make sure that your flashlights have batteries. Make sure you don't store your batteries all the time inside of your stuff, because if it's an alkaline battery, it's going to go bad. Think about this stuff. It's important. Anyhow, I gotta go. You guys have a great night. Prep Rebel.